This video is not intended for anyone 13 or younger. Hello viewers and welcome back to another My Hero Academia read-through, and today we're going to be tackling chapter 259. And today's episode is going to be a little interesting because I know I didn't record this yesterday, but I'm recording it on Monday. And the last 24 hours have been very interesting due to a sensitive topic. But we'll be getting to that eventually. It's like in the first few pages. But before we get that out of the way, I would like to remind what happened last week. So last week, we know the location of the hospital where Shigaraki is going to have his metamorphosis in Kyoto somewhere, up in the mountains, because twice being twice, just being super nice, which might finally nail his death, his last nail in his coffin if Shigaraki ever finds out. So all the heroes and all the pro heroes, our heroes from Class 1A and Class 1B, have made to Kyoto and hopefully tried to stop the madness, and the war has just begun. So yeah, so let's dive into chapter 259. Before we get started, make sure you hit that subscribe button. It only takes 2 simple clicks. Click, click. Enjoy the episode. So the title of the chapter is My Hero Academia, chapter number 259, A Quiet Beginning. And on the first page, we get a cover page of the new Todoroki household where Endeavor's children have moved into, with the mother coming in, I think, from the artwork. And let's move on to page 2. And page 2 continues where we last left off, with the Mad Doctor going through the hospital and just having his normal day. And we get more dialogue, like on first page. I'm going to bring it up. So we finally get his real actual name. And his name for right now is called Maruta Shiga. And Maruta, ever since like 24 hours ago, it brought up a lot of topics of controversy. And you're probably guys saying, Josh, what kind of controversy is Maruta could possibly bring up? Well, actually, Maruta is the Japanese term for a little thing that happened in World War II, being part of chemical experiments done on Japanese people during the time of World War II and Nazi experimentation. I get what Horikoshi is trying to do, because the Mad Doctor, as far as we have known, if you have read the superhero book, I can't remember on the top of my head, and the stuff that the Mad Doctor has done, yeah, he kind of fits as a Nazi scientist. And he has done terrible, very terrible things. And Maruta, ever since the whole Maruta was stated, like yesterday, people on Twitter and the internet says, oh no, we do not want this, we do not want this. This is bringing up a lot of bad things and bringing up World War II, and a controversy was made. So, like, at least it's I'm not sure if it's still going on, but like at let me see. I woke up at around 6 in the morning because I had to help my dad with a thing. I think it was ever since 7 in the morning, Horikoshi has responded to this, and it was in Japanese, of course. So I checked the best translation of this, And it says Horikoshi did state this in his Twitter post, and he said, "Many have pointed out that the character name Shiki Shai Shiga Maruta in this week's chapter has brought up recollections of acts done in World War II. I did not intend for that name to be associated as such, so I didn't think he would actually. So, yeah, he's kind of saying, I'm sorry about this as such. I take this matter very seriously, and I will change the name. So, yeah, for this chapter, we're probably only going to reference Maruta once, and then probably when the volume comes out, it'll have the new replaced name for the Mad Doctor. And for the rest of the chapter, and until the new name comes out and that I can actually pronounce, we're still going to keep him as the Mad Doctor, as far as we know. And there's like a little notice on the sign as the Mad Doctor passing by saying outpatient reception and predicaris. I don't know how to pronounce that last word. And also, my mother is actually a nurse in a hospital, so yeah, she's like a very good doctor. Not doctor, nurse. So my mother would know better. So there's more of his introduction saying his name for this chapter I will not say any further, and he has no quirk, so he's quirkless, and we get more into the Mac Doctor's backstory. So for him, it says founder of Jakku General Hospital. Oh, you just had to sneak in that. I know what you did there, Horikoshi. That you always have to add Star Wars references, and having Horikoshi does have the cojones to bring up the sequel series, the sequel movies. That takes a lot of gall to actually bring that up. I don't know if Horikoshi actually liked the sequel. I don't know. I know if anybody could actually find Horikoshi actually bringing up his feedback on the sequel movies of Star Wars, like 7 through 9, and I would love to see what he has to say. And also, the Manic Doctor is the current chairman of the board. And it goes to a shot outside the next panel of the hospital he's in. He promoted community-based medical rooted in quirks, and after founding the hospital, he devoted his time and energy to charitable works. He sets up orphanages and nursing homes nationwide through partnership with his hospital, which is actually is kind. Oh wait, there's more to it. His past paints him as a whimsical man, but he's earned acceptable and respectable from many communities, and he's just continuing whistling along with his days. And knowing what we know about the Mac Doctor and all the horrible things he's done, and also in the Ultra Hero book in the second one, those orphanages and nursing homes that he's built, yeah, he's just turned those into basically the houses for the poor, just home for the poor and the homeless people, all just getting grinded up and just into nomus and into biological weapons of mass destruction and a genetics arms race with all the quirks that he does for All for One. So with all that, yeah, and he also turned his grandson into a biological weapon. Yeah, he did that. So yeah, he's basically a Nazi scientist at this point. So we cut back to the meeting with all the pro heroes, And we have Lockdown, who's came back from the radar. That was quite a while ago. So he goes and says, "How do we know it's him?" So we had the head inspector again, and he continues saying, "We had someone go undercover based on a tip from the Safety Commission. They discovered a lockdown area in the hospital, and what nobody knew what it was being used for." So, and the head inspector continues on the next page, saying, "It's only accessible via the morgue. Only Shiga himself goes in or out. Only the Mad Doctor goes in and out, and our insider managed to get proof of this photo." So he brings out a photograph of the guy who was undercover in the morgue taking a photograph of the Mad Doctor, and we also see something else, and it's another like tiny Nomu. Not the same one that we were introduced to, but even one of the pussycats was saying, an itty bitty Nomu. I don't know if she's trying to say it as a cute thing or sickening. It kind of looks sickening, but so the head inspector continues. "Arresting the Mad Doctor wouldn't be so tricky. However, if we get ahead of ourselves, the Liberation Front will catch wind of it." And we go to the next page, and the inspector continues. "We all remember the traumatic events at Hosu and Kamino. The Mad Doctor, the Nomu, Shigaraki, and the League of No, the Paranormal Liberation Front. Our mission is to take them all down at once." So we get, while that statement's going on, we go to the forest and we slowly zoom in back to,
Meanwhile, at the Legion of Doom.
yeah, we're back at the terrible hotel side on the mountain. And next page, we see all the pro heroes all going to march to the Paranormal Liberation Front at the Quirk Liberation Army Hotel. And the head investigator continues. "The enemy commanders are all attending a meeting inside that building." And we have some of the heroes that we already seen. And it continues with the inspector on the next page saying, "That warp quirk is one to be feared, but the one who wields it is in the hospital. Once their escape route is blocked, the others will have nowhere to run." And we have Mushroom Girl from 1B coming along, and she starts saying, "Should we really be here, Shroom? Did didn't the League of Villains attack UA?" And we continue with Midnight, and she goes, "They've gotten too powerful." And I can't remember which one's speaking. Midnight Sensei. "Given how much power Shigaraki's gotten his hands on, he's closer than ever to accomplishing his ultimate goal. It's not just you kids who are in danger anymore. But don't worry, we just need your help for this initial stage." And we see Charge Ball and Kaminari um, coming along, and then we got a little bit of text saying, "Then you can retreat to safety." And we're moving on to page 8, as we see Charge Ball just shouting, "Why am I on? Why am I on the front lines though? I'm really missing those guys. Class A, I miss you!" And he's just shouting, "You!" While all this is going on, we quickly zoom away to an awesome, well, 2-page spread of the rest of Class 1A and Class 1B together in one group. While this "you" just keeps on going and going. I wonder how loud it is, because I could imagine like somebody would be able to hear that. Like you just warned off the villains and they just inside the hotel, and they're probably hearing saying, "What the hell is that noise? What the hell?" While the you just going on. Oh, I can picture it now. Okay. With that out of the way, let's just continue with Edge Shot continues saying, "We have their bases surrounded all over the country. Not even a mouse is getting away." And Fat Gum continues saying, How did we figure out their whole meeting schedule though? Well, they got Hawks, right? Hawks is in there. And we quickly, while that sentence was stated, we cut back to Endeavor and the head investigator, and Endeavor starts a conversation with him saying, "Was it him who figured out it was this hospital? Where is he? And and what and what is he up to right now?" And the head investigator continues saying, "That's classified for now. Not that I know who you mean by him. I'm probably assuming Hawks." And we have also President Mike and Aizawa in two panels. And while the head investigator continues saying, "We are all we are all giving up a lot to preserve peace in this nation." Ed Endeavor just goes through the double-decker door saying, "Huh, classified, sure." As Endeavor just walks out of the building, continues walking, he thinks to himself, "I bolstered our numbers, just like you said. Here we go." And he's saying, "Hawks." And then we cut to the next page on page 12, and we cut to downtown Kyoto, I think, with the text box saying downtown, as we get into a little conversation with how weird all the heroes are gone, and like two random people just noticing, saying, and they start a conversation saying, hey, you notice how there are no heroes today? We always see someone." And the other person saying, "There's one, and it's Slide and Go, and he's just doing his normal routine, just cruising along." And on the next page, we continue with Slide and Go, and he brings up the fact, saying, "What's going on here?" As we see a hero just goes about to do like, "Hey man," and we see it's oh fudge, I can't remember who the guy was. Who was in the very first chapter. I can't remember right now. And he gets Sly to go into a chokehold, and he says, "You're you're the one. Oh, You're the only one out of the loop." And he continues saying, "You backstabbing liberation nut." And Sliden goes in complete shock and saying, "Oh," having shown an expression of, "Oh shit, oh crap," that he's got caught. And next page, we do page 14. We continue with where the UA students are, and we have Vernon saying they're moving in. And Vernon continues saying, "That's our cue. Move to your assigned sector and get those civilians out of here." And all of Class 1A and Class 1B and all the UA students are just go, 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 go. Next page, we continue with Endeavor, Aizawa, and we get most of the pro heroes invading the hospital. And we get the people from the hospital just freaking out about this and saying, "What is this? Endeavor? Whoa!" And one of the pussycats continues saying, "Everyone, get outside. There might be some fighting in here soon." And we get the guy who's spying on the hospital continuing saying, "Detective, Endeavor, this way." And they're going to the morgue, to where probably where the Nomu factory is. And on page 16, we continue. We cut back to the Mad Doctor as he's just going through his day and he's just being happy as he can be. And we get into his inner monologue saying, all is running smoothly. Tomura Shigaraki should be ready in just over a month. Ah, I can't wait. And he gets rudely interrupted by someone coming from behind saying, so you're the one. And next panel, we see the Mad Doctor turning around, and we see Endeavor and Aizawa just right behind him, with Endeavor saying, "The man behind the Nomu, and all for one's right hand." And I think probably I didn't. Okay, I will probably say that I probably think the the one that was released like on Friday or Saturday, the quality of that scans were bad and translated bad, so I'm reading this on the website. So I probably think that people will not see Aizawa behind having Aizawa seeing Aizawa in this panel, while Endeavor's just saying that because of how bad the quality is. People might just be shocked about this. So on the very last page, we see Endeavor looking down at the Mad Doctor, while Mad Doctor's just looking at this scene, getting cold, and having the biggest oh crap moments of his life. While Endeavor finishes the chapter saying, the devil's minion. The devil's minion, huh? You're finished. Next chapter hits February 9th. So yeah, we're getting into the introduction of the war arc, and I don't think Endeavor's not gonna have it easy. It kinda the Mad Doctor's kinda outclassed with Endeavor being right next to him. I probably think next chapter for 260, the Mad Doctor's probably gonna have like a few tricks up his sleeve, and he's gonna try and get away and try to head to the basement as soon as possible, because I can probably see Shigaraki, because Shigaraki needs the Mad Doctor to complete the metamorphosis. So I probably think Shigaraki will still finish the metamorphosis, but I could see this going two ways, like that, like the Mad Doctor somehow escapes and goes into the basement and tried to get Shigaraki out early, and there's going to be some problems with that. But overall, this is a good chapter, and the arc's just gonna start slowly, and then the war arc's gonna get explosive right at the end. I'm probably thinking it's gonna start quiet and slow, and it builds and builds and builds until it explodes at the end, probably. So yeah. So this has been a good chapter, and I'll see you in chapter 260, and we'll wait and see. I probably think that the Mad Doctor would have some tricks up his sleeves, because he's kind of defenseless, and he has Aisawa to also contend with. So I'll probably see you guys next week on February 9th. I'll try to get it out on February 9th or 10th, depending. I'm just a little busy. So until then, have a good day, everybody, and I'll see you on the very next episode. Bye for now.